Back with another Hilux video. I've finally got some Utemart flares for this. The ones that I made, there's bolt-on guards under there, and then I fiberglass and bogged it and made this, but they just weigh a ton and they're all cracking and they look rubbish now. So I've got another set of guards here. These are the original guards off my off that car, and I went into the Utemart. I think they're like the R76 or something, and they should look pretty good. Yeah, that'll look way better. Anyway, I'm gonna repaint these guards, and you gotta cut back here, and they just fold them, but I'm gonna weld mine up and grind it and then paint the guards. Alright, so I got that marked out. What they do is they go 99 mil from there to there, and then 116 mil from there to there, and then you draw a line up here in the center of this grommet hole, and then you cut those down, those two lines, and then hit that in till it's back there. But they just leave it in their like installation video, because probably not everyone can weld and whatever, but I'm just probably gonna put a couple tack welds on mine just to make sure it doesn't do anything weird. And yeah, I'm gonna cut that now and see how we go. Alright, got that cut, and it just folds back like that, and this is when people usually just bolt their flares on. I don't really trust that because everything gets a bit flimsy after you cut that, so I'm gonna chuck a couple tacks on that. I'm gonna cut the other one first and then get the welder out. Alright, got both of the guards cut. Now I'm just going to give them a quick pressure wash because they're real dirty, all covered in mud, so give them a wash first before I keep going at them. Alright, got those all washed up, looking schmick, mate. Yeah, I'm just going to grind back some of the paint off there and weld those up now, and then I'll get into sanding them and getting them ready to paint. Alrighty, so I welded that up and grinded it back. Looks pretty good actually, and the best part is it's got all that strength back in it, so it's not gonna like lose its shape. That was the problem with my old ones, is I cut them like all the way around here and right back there, because I had 35s at the time, and it annoyed me because this never had its strength again, so that would always like move around and the door would hit on it, make an awful noise, and then I'd adjust it, and then a week later it'd just be like that again. So that should be way stronger as well than just cutting it and leaving it. Alright, so I got the other guard done, and I just sat the flares on to make sure they fit right, and there's a dent in the guard right here, and of course the bit of rubber that has the sticky back on it sits right over that dent, so I tapped it out as best as I could. I'm just going to put a bit of bog on it so that water doesn't get in there and unstick all the sticky back. There's another dent up here, but I got it out with my hammer. But yeah, that should be like pretty much the only bit of bogging I have to do. Like, couldn't have been here, just had to be right there. Anyway, alright, I got some bog on that, sanded the whole thing, started sanding this one. I just test fitted those, and that one fits good now. I'll see tomorrow when that dries after I sand if that is fixed. This one had a bit of trouble here, there's sort of a big gap there, but I sort of just bent everything a little bit and got it sitting pretty good. But I'm going to finish sanding these tomorrow, Alright, so it's another day. Let this bog dry overnight. I'm just going to sand it back, finish sanding the guards and that one over there, get all the little bits of rust off them, and then start painting them. So with the bog, I just marked roughly where the low spot was and just put a skim over there, so I'll just get that sand nice and flat, and hopefully it fits without needing to bog it more. Alright, so I got these sanded up now. I did find a little dent on this one, bogged it and sanded it. Before I start painting though, I got my air compressor. I just brought it out here because I can hear water in there. So when I was sanding before, I was feeling little splats coming out of the sander. So what I'm going to do is just let the air seep water already. I'm just going to let that empty out, let all the water drain out, because I don't want any water in the paint when I paint them. Yeah, I need to get some sort of water trap or something on it, but yeah, I'll just empty it for now, let all the water out. Have a look at all that water. That's gross. So that is exactly why I did this. Imagine all that getting in the paint. Well, it wouldn't be that much, but just little bits of it would get in the paint and just completely wreck it. There's full-on chunks of rust in there. That's why I reckon I'm eventually going to get a aluminium air compressor, because they don't rust and you just drain them every now and again. But yeah, if you've got an air compressor and you've never let the air out, give it a go and you'll be shocked at how much stuff comes out of them. Alright, these are all ready to go. I've got my gun set up. I'm just going to mix up some paint. I've got just some 2-pack 040 Glacier White and some hardener, a cup, and I'll find my stirrer. But yeah, I'll just mix that up. The ratio is 2 to 1, so you find on the inside of the cup 2 to 1, and then you'll fill up to, you can't see on the camera, but there's all numbers on there, and you just fill them up to the numbers on the same one, and then pour it in the gun and you're good to go. So I'll mix that up and get a coat on these guards and see how it comes out. Alright, so I got my paint mixed up. Just going to pour it into the gun. Just like that. I only mixed up about 200ml. I don't know. It should be enough, hopefully. If not, I'll just mix a bit more up. Alright, usually get a bit of cardboard or something, and I'll just yeah, that's way too not enough paint. So just tweak that until you can get it right. First time using this gun, but I think I got it set up, but who knows, if I stuff it I'll just sand it and paint it again. But start by doing the outsides. It's not spraying nice. should we keep painting them? Alright, so they're all painted. Actually come up alright. I was pretty scared at the start, but they're not bad. They're actually pretty darn good. I've got like one little run there, but that's about it. What do you reckon?
They look fine actually.
Yeah, they actually come up pretty good. There's a few like little dots in them from the rag, because you're supposed to use zero cotton rags or whatever, so they don't leave those little bits of cotton on them, but good enough for the Hilux anyway. Should be good. Guards are all dry now. The only issue with these is you can't see it on camera, but I used a microfiber rag to wipe them down just before I painted them, which you're supposed to use cotton-free rags. So like I can feel tiny little bits of cotton in certain spots, which is a little annoying, but I knew I shouldn't be using that rag, but I didn't have any cotton-free ones, so that's the only issue. But I'm just going to leave it, give it, maybe try polish it out eventually, but it's not bad. You can't really see it, you can just feel it. The other thing, the Glacier white on these is a little different to these ones. Now I'm pretty sure they advertise these as 040 Glacier white, which is the same as this, so there's definitely something sus going on there with paint colours, but it's not too bad. If it annoys me too much, I'll probably just repaint these eventually, but yeah, I think it's fine. So I'm going to start unbolting these. I'm going to take the snorkel off, and snorkel's not going to go back on for a while, but I'm going to take the headlights out, and then these, just some bolts in here. There's bolts under the bonnet in there, and then there's a couple, there's one in there. Yep, just smash the door on there, it's alright, I'll just repaint it now. There's another bolt down there, but can't see it without the door fully open. Yeah, so I'll get into that. Get the lights off. There's just a couple bolt, one there, there's one in there and one here. I've got to be super careful with this one in particular because she's got some JB Weld holding it together, because about a week after I put these headlights in I decided to T-bone someone, so wasn't greatest move of mine, but things happen. So yeah, I'll get into taking these headlights off and get back to the guards. Alright, so I've got this all unbolted. Turns out there's a bit more damage from my little crash than I thought. This bull bar's pushed back so far, and I didn't really realise how far until now. Like, decent normal gap there, and then here it's just like, and pushed all the way in. And I even snapped one of the bolts up here, must have pushed it back, and the bracket for that bolt's actually snapped off the car, so I'll probably have to weld that up. Yeah, not good, more work, but oh well. Last thing before you take this off, you got to pull that out and just unplug that. Drilled that hole out there where one of the snap bolts is. We've got a Temu special here, one of these get your snap bolts out tools. Apparently you just wind them in and then reverse and it should get the bolt out, so we'll see how well that works. It's actually working. Have a look at that. That's a good Temu special right there. Hey Archie. Alright, so I got the snapped bolts out and got that tab welded back on, so I'll let that cool, put a bit of paint on it, and then get this guard on. Alright, so I've got the front quarters back on. This one, that's the run I was talking about. I want to see if I can wet sand and polish that out. This side's pretty good. I've run out of time for tonight, but should get away with running it like that for a day. And I'll get back into it and get these Utemart flares on in another day. Alright, this is like day 17 trying to do this, but I forgot my camera, so I'm filming on my phone. Yeah, all I got to do is bolt these on, which you get these little brackets here, and they bolt on to your factory little clip there like that. And there's another one that goes here somewhere, so they'll go like there and there, and then you just bolt into those factory grommet holes, which my grommets are all missing, so I'm gonna have to try come up with something there. I might just use a bolt with a nut and washer instead of these screws that they give you. Would have been a lot easier if I just had the grommets, but I don't, so it's just what I'm gonna have to do. So I'm gonna start by just getting these clips bolted on first. Alright, so I got those on, and I just spent a while adjusting those so that when this sits on, you want the bit where the sticky back is to sit flat on the guard. Yeah, so I got that all adjusted. Now you just get this adhesion promoter and wipe it on where the sticky back's gonna go. So I'm just gonna do that, bolt it up and see how it looks. Alright, so I got those all bolted on now. Come out good. The Utemart fitment is actually pretty decent compared to most other companies with things. Like, that looks pretty good if you ask me. Looks a lot better than the old ones, especially. Yeah. Alright, well, thanks for watching the video. The next video I'll be making on the Hilux will be building snorkels, so that should be a pretty good video. Probably gonna do twins, just low cut, short entries. Probably look the part, but yeah, see you in that video.